What's up, you guys? Meme Tech Reviews here with another video. Gonna try to make it short for you guys. Not trying to go interstellar again in 55 minutes, but I'll do my best. Today we're talking about the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Let's get into it. So the Pixel 9 Pro XL, we're gonna talk about the display to start off. The display on here is beautiful, man. Just look at it. It's got a 6.8-inch LTPO display with a 29 by 92 by 1344 resolution, dang near almost 2K. Refresh rate 1 Hz to 120 Hz, and it's just as beautiful, man. You can't go wrong with this. It might be 8-bit, 10-bit, it don't even matter at this point. When you look at it, it's glorious, it's vibrant, the colors are accurate, they're punchy. When you're watching YouTube on here, HDR videos, everything looks crisp and clear. You have that punch hole cutout right there, which is very less intrusive than the iPhone 16 Pro Max's dynamic island. We have a 486 ppi on here, which means it's going to be a lot sharper of a display than the iPhone 16 Pro Max for sure. And about the iPhone 16 Pro Max, beautiful display as well. You do have that dynamic island on the top, which is a lot more obvious than the punch hole cutout. With the iPhone, we are rocking a 2868 by 1320 resolution, so a little less on the iPhone when it comes to resolution. 1 Hz, 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, 460 ppi, which means the Pixel technically has the better display, but this does support Dolby Vision. So honestly, I'll be honest with you, man, these display specs, I don't know, man. I feel like sometimes like we shouldn't look at what it like supports, right? Because granted, the Pixel doesn't support Dolby Vision, but if you watch Netflix on here compared to both phones, I don't think you're gonna see the difference, especially with how small the screens are. I don't think you're gonna see the difference, to be honest. I mean, with the resolution and the screen size versus like a big immersive 4K TV, 8K TV, whatever y'all are rocking, that's when you'll notice the difference. I feel like when it comes to the Dolby Vision and HDR10+, maybe it's even the color science too. But you can't go wrong with either display. DxO marks the Pixel 9 Pro XL to be the second best behind the S25 Ultra. So take that information with what you will. Some people don't really believe in DxO mark. I'm just stating the objective facts of what that website rated the display on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So you really can't go wrong with either phone when it comes to the display. And I'll have some B-roll examples of how the displays look when you're watching content, but nonetheless, you can't go wrong. If it was my pick, I would pick the Pixel 9 Pro XL all day when it comes to viewing content, despite the iPhone 16 Pro Max having Dolby Vision. With that little punch hole cutout and the vibrant display, you really can't go wrong. So wait, let's just throw that in there. The iPhone 16 Pro Max weighs 227 grams. The Pixel 9 Pro XL is 221 grams. So despite the iPhone having the lighter titanium finish on here, the Pixel 9 Pro XL with its tight stainless steel sides is the lighter phone. And just holding them both, the Pixel does feel slightly lighter. It's just a couple of grams difference. You're not really gonna feel it. And the Pixel 9 Pro XL has that 0.1-inch shorter display. So when it comes to weight, the Pixel takes the cake for this one too, just by objective facts that it weighs a little less than the iPhone. And I wanna throw this information on here as well because I feel like maybe it's overlooked. The Pixel 9 Pro XL does have Face ID, and it also has the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor as well. So what do I mean? How does it have Face ID if it doesn't have those proximity sensors and dot projectors to unlock your phone in the dark? This won't unlock your phone with your face in the dark. However, it does have a Class 3 security clearance, basically, where you can utilize your face to unlock your baking apps, password apps, anything that's secure, that's like encrypted, anything like that. You can use the Face ID on the Pixel 9 Pro XL because it has that security certification. Basically, the S25 Ultra has face unlock as well, but doesn't have that Class 3 security certification on there. So that's a fun fact to let out there. So it does pretty much, you can use the best of both worlds. If it's really light, you got a lot of light, you can use the Face ID on here. If it's too dark, you can use your fingerprint sensor. Now granted, the iPhone Face ID works in the dark basically. I'll have some B-roll examples for this as well. And I'm saying this out loud just so I know that when I'm editing to make B-roll in this sequence, so you guys can see an example of how the Face ID works in the dark with the iPhone and how it won't work on the Pixel, but you do have those options. Now, furthermore, speaking about the fingerprint sensor, I did use it before putting the screen protector on here, and it's a screen protector from Amazon, LK something screen protector. And it's really fast without the screen protector. However, with the screen protector on here, the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, you have to really press on the phone to get it to unlock. Like, I don't know if I can show you guys, but even from that angle, you see how I can't unlock it? So it took 3 tries and I had to press down really firm to do that. So that's just a little FYI. Bear in mind, if you have a screen protector, a tempered glass screen protector that is, you will have to press a lot more firm on the glass to get your phone to unlock. Now, if you do a film screen protector for just like protecting the scratches, since it's not tempered glass and it's a little more thin or thinner, I don't think you'll have a problem with the fingerprint sensor. But if you're using tempered glass, it might be an issue. So keep that in mind. All right, starting point for the price of these phones before we get in the nitty gritty of me getting the details of this, going interstellar. Try not to do 55 minutes, I promise. But the price of the iPhone starts at $1,199, and that starts at 256 gigabytes of storage. The Pixel starts at $1,099, and that gives you 128 gigabytes of storage. So basically, if you round up the storage, it's about the same price. And the iPhone does have a more powerful chip and processor. So, with the processor, the Pixel, we'll get into it. It can keep up with the iPhone when it comes to like daily tasks and like real life scenarios. But if you're gonna do like exporting and gaming, maybe you'll see some differences, but the Pixel can honestly keep up because sometimes the A18 and the A chips of the iPhone are just really overpowered. They do a good job, they export fast, but the Tensor G4, despite it being basically like a middle range chip on a flagship phone, it still keeps up pretty well. And we'll show you some examples here in the video. It's just me here. But yeah, I'll show you some examples here in the video. So just from a cosmetic perspective for this part of the video, I just want to talk about the cameras here on the back of the iPhone. I don't know if you can see the dirt, but bear in mind the iPhone with its camera setup, it will collect a lot of dust and it's hard to clean. When you compare it to the Pixel and its little camera visor, granted I may have smudged the cameras a little bit on here, but it doesn't collect dust and it's very easy to clean. And while I'm at it, I just want to talk about the design of these phones. I just talked about the numbers, but which do you guys prefer? Which design looks better? Granted, the Pixel and the iPhone pretty much look identical. Google is pretty much copying the aesthetic of the iPhone, and I feel like it's to draw iPhone users in. So if you're an iPhone user, the Pixel already looks like an iPhone. Its camera, honestly, the way the camera looks, that way it's set up, that horizontal look, I feel like it's a lot better. The visor look, a lot cleaner to me, and it feels better in the hand, honestly, the Pixel does. And it has less buttons, no camera control button, no action button. It's got Gemini on here, which is just fine. I think ChatGPT is better low key, but the fact that Gemini is pretty much in the Google ecosystem and it integrates pretty well, it's rocking, man. It's good. It's really good. So if you're an iPhone user, it's pretty easy to jump ship to the Pixel. And I'll talk more about that here in the video. And honestly, if I wasn't really wrapped up in the ecosystem and I wasn't dependent on the video quality of the iPhone, I could easily switch to this. I feel like the Pixel 10 Pro XL and the Google Watch 4, that might be it, man. And I'll talk about more of that later in the video. All right, so we're gonna go back to the displays here. As you can see, is the always on display on both phones. They're a little different. The Pixel has the clock right here, the little fingerprint thing right there to show you where to put your fingerprint, your thumb, your finger, whatever you got. It's got the date and time up here in the weather, alarm clock settings. Here on the iPhone, you can customize this. You can have the weather on here, calendar, the weather up here. You can do a lot of different things, and I'm not going to go into that in this video, otherwise it'll be super duper long going to how you can customize all that. But tap on here and you have the 2 options right here at the bottom as well. Right now we have wallet and flashlight, and here we have Google Home. Oh, sorry, Toyota app on the iPhone, the flashlight, Google Wallet and Google Home right here. We have your notifications all over here. We have in private unless the phone is unlocked, which is cool. So unlocking these things is how, see how fast Face ID is. And Pixel. So they both unlocked. You can see that I unlocked both phones. We'll do that one more time. Both phones are locked to see how fast they are when I tap Face ID. The Pixel unlocked first, so there you have it. It seems like both had to be swiped. I don't know if there's a feature on the Pixel phone where it just opens up the phone as soon as it unlocks with your face. Let me know in the comments below if there is one. But yeah, Face ID works on both phones. You saw that happen. So I'm gonna shut the light off to see if the Pixel works in the dark or not. So we'll run that test here real quick. I'm gonna shut these lights off. And then we'll see if the Pixel can still unlock with less light with Face ID. So we're gonna lock the iPhone. All right, Apple, unlocked, cool. Pixel. Didn't unlock. I can see the ring around the Pixel trying to unlock. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try holding it up to my face. Face not recognized. Face not recognized. Face unlock unavailable. I have to enter my PIN. So yeah, in the dark, the Face ID does not work on the Pixel, but it's cool, all good, because you have the fingerprint sensor as a second option to unlock your phone. So hopefully that example was informational for you guys. And I also want to talk about how with, let's show you the Chase app. I'm not gonna show you my bank account, but Biometrics, I didn't have to put my PIN in, it just recognized my face. So I will log out of Chase again. All right, so I'm gonna click Biometrics. It didn't recognize my face, Biometrics. All right, recognize my face, and you saw I did use my finger, so boom. So there's your proof that you can unlock banking apps with your face. All right, so let's talk about the displays when you're watching videos. I wanted to show you an example of that. I guess it was supposed to be B-roll, but now I'm talking. So let's get into that. All right, so we're gonna zoom to fill, zoom to fill. All right, so I'm gonna play the video now. All right, so right now you can't tell because it's in a dark setting. So I'm gonna fast forward to get to a lighter setting to where you can see the punch hole cutout. All right, so now you can see the dynamic island. You can see the punch hole cutout. So which one would you rather watch? Honestly, it's got to be the Pixel because it's less intrusive. And while we're doing this, we'll do a speaker test. I can't play music for copyright purposes, but I'm gonna play this. Well, there's a lot of wind in that video. Let me play a different video of mine that doesn't have a lot of wind. So it goes through a little tutorial and you're good to go. Same thing on Android, because Beats are known for that. Beats are friendly with Android. They have the fast pairing. They have Find My through the Beats app. All right, and now we're gonna play that same video on the Pixel. Turn that halfway up. And do that again, but on the iPhone. Forgot I had music in the beginning of that video. So we'll run that back. About halfway too. So yeah, let me know in the comments what speaker you thought was better. I mean, to me, the iPhone wins hands down. It's a lot more richer, it's louder, it's got a punchier bass. Just overall a lot better on the iPhone when it comes to the speaker quality, but a lot better on the Pixel when it comes to an immersive display. Now that intrusive dynamic island does have some usefulness. So swipe up on there and my timer goes up right there. Play a song. And I think it's supposed to go up to the dynamic island. Maybe if I continue to play it, so I'm going to turn it down so I don't get copywritten. But we're going to press play. And yeah, so now it's continue playing. It went up there. Timer's right there. I can get rid of the timer and just make it the music. I can swipe on there to bring it back. I can swipe from the island to the timer to bring the timer back. Press and hold to zoom it out. So you can do all that with the dynamic island. Despite its intrusiveness, it does have some usefulness. Now, does the Pixel have anything like this? I don't think so. So we can see if there's any updates, because Samsung has its own like software type stuff where they can do similar things like that without having a dynamic island. So we'll do a 50-second timer, swipe up. So all we get is a little hourglass logo at the top, and then it's down there in our notifications. So that's it. No dynamic island stuff on here. No dynamic thing right here at the bottom, but the timer does pop up in the always on display, which is neat. But that's what you get with the Pixel. So nothing like the Samsung, nothing like the iPhone, just kind of I think what they've been doing basically. So I just want to throw that out there when comparing the dynamic island, and if the Pixel has anything to somewhat match that. All right, had to take a quick break there. Anywho, I'm back. So another thing I want to talk about, which is a pretty big deal to me, is Airplay versus Google Home. And I talked about this in a video before, so I'll bring it up again, as this is a Google phone and this is an iPhone. And in my humble opinion, I think with the iPhone, you do get the best of both worlds. Now hear me out. On the iPhone, you get HomeKit, and you have integration, not integration like a native one, but you still get to utilize Google Home and have HomeKit. You can have both. On the Pixel, you can only have Google Home. And Google Home is okay. It's a pretty good ecosystem. But with the iPhone, you can do both, and I'll show you. So if I swipe down on my control panel right here, I go to the home right here, I have access to all these devices. I have access to my front door, which is a Yale lock. I have access to the Sony TVs, which are also Google TVs. I have access to the Nest thermostat, which is Matter compatible, which means it can be connected to HomeKit. I have access to my Airplay speakers that were sent to me by Dio. I have a video about those speakers if you haven't checked that out yet. And I do have 3 of those. And what else do I have? Yeah, just those Airplay speakers. So the office TV is the LG TV. That has Airplay. So I have connectivity to all these devices. So on the Google, I have connectivity to basically, where's my Google Home app? The exact same things. So I have access to the Govee lights. Govee lights aren't Matter compatible for me on my little smart device ecosystem I have going around the house. So with Govee, which I do like because I think they are a cheaper version of Philips, and they still operate and function just as fine, if not better. So I have my permanent lights outside, I have my outdoor lights outside, and I have my garage lights and my front door light and my backyard light. They're all Govee lights, but they are not Matter or HomeKit compatible, which sucks. But my solution to that for the iPhone is I have my Google Home widget right here, which is an interactive widget. So I can tap on these switches right here, and it will turn them on and off without going into the Google Home app. And I think that's very convenient. So I have access to my Google Home switchboard right here, and I have access to my HomeKit switchboard right here. So, and the HomeKit switchboard is like, I feel like it's more responsive than the Google Home switchboard, but nonetheless, I have all of that. I have access to all of that. On the Pixel, I don't have access to my LG TV because I have to go through the LG app basically, and that won't work for me. So that's kind of inconvenient. I mean, it'll work, but it's inconvenient. It's not a seamless like thing that I can do. So with on the iPhone, when it comes to the Govee lights are only Google Home compatible, I have my Google Home switchboard. Also, I talked about this in the video prior, if you haven't seen it already, where I think it's a short, where I talk about AirPlay and Google group speakers. So on the Pixel, I have options for my group speakers, which is only compatible with the Google Home devices, where on the iPhone, I have access to AirPlay speakers that are compatible. So I can do the soundbar, the TV that's connected to the soundbar, the LG TV, which is connected to my Bluetooth Persona speakers. I can do the living room TV. I can do the DO speaker in the bedroom. So I can have music all around the house. It probably won't be in sync due to Bluetooth and etc. But nonetheless, I can play music pretty much everywhere with an AirPlay compatible speaker. And thanks to the smart TVs that are AirPlay compatible, basically I can have music in every room, and thanks to the AirPlay speakers, I can plug them up anywhere. I have music in every part of the house. So that is my take on Google Home and HomeKit with these devices. Leave a comment below, which do you use? Do you agree with my take? What are your thoughts about it? Let's talk in the comments below about the differences between HomeKit and Google Home. And then I want to throw in real quick while these screens are dim that the iPhone does get dimmer if you are in bed and you have a partner and whatnot. The iPhone does reach 1 nit of brightness and the Pixel does not, but it does have an extra dim feature on there. But even with that toggled, in my experience, the 1 nit brightness in the iPhone is a lot dimmer. Just want to throw that out there. All right, voice memo apps. So the iPhone is now capable of transcribing your voice memos. I don't know if it does it on device or it's offline, I forget. But the Pixel just advertised to me that it can work offline and can transcribe offline. So with this right here, I'm just about to record to just do a mic test between both these phones. This is a mic test with the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL to test out its mic quality and its capabilities. So I'm going to keep on talking and put some words, because I do this dumb thing where I try to and do the little beatbox sound effect. 20 seconds is enough. Let's see how it sounds played back, or you're actually listening to it right now. So how does it sound? Don't add location, transcript. And it heard some words on here at the top. It says Google Beatbox. So yeah, add a title, mic test, save. So here you can see, I don't know if you can see it, I'll put up to the camera, that it did transcribe. This is a mic test with the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. To test out its mic quality. The mic sounds pretty good. So I'm going to keep on talking and put some words, because I do. How does it sound? Where I try to do the little beatbox sound effect. 20 seconds is enough. Let's see how it sounds played back, or you're actually listening to it right now. So how does it sound? How does it sound? That wasn't so bad. All right, so we're gonna test it on the iPhone now and see how it does. And the transcription was pretty on point. So this is a mic test, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. How does it sound compared to the Pixel 9 Pro XL? And I'm gonna keep on talking and say these beatbox type words to test the p sounds from the microphone, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Hopefully the transcription on here is just as accurate. Hopefully it sounds just as good. We will see. Testing right now. All right, so let's see if it was able to transcribe. Was it able to transcribe? Edit view transcript. Okay. So it looks like when it said this is a mic test, it thought it was like a test with a guy named Mike. Max, how does it sound compared to the Pixel 9 Pro XL? And I'm gonna keep on talking and say these beatbox type words to test the p sounds from the microphone, the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Hopefully the transcription on here is just as accurate. Hopefully it sounds just as good. We will see. Testing right now. Doesn't sound too bad. It sounds a little boxy. I'm gonna play the Pixel again from the beginning. This is a mic test with the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL to oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to replace anything. Shake and undo. Can we shake and undo on here? Test the iPhone 16 Pro Max. How does it sound compared to the Pixel 9 Pro XL? Sounds really echoey. Test out its mic quality and its capability. The iPhone sounds a lot echoey. You know, surprisingly, I think the Pixel might have. Let me know in the comments below. I mean, you're gonna hear actually probably the raw vocal in the video and not just me playing it through this video and through my own microphone. But let me know in the comments below, man, because from listening to it right now and playing them back, the iPhone sounded a lot boxier, and the Pixel just sounded a little better to me. I might be tripping. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. All right, real quick again. So another thing I wanted to bring up that I brought up in the last video was how the messages looked and how I preferred the messages on the iMessage and the pin messages. So pin messages on the Pixel, they basically show up like this with little pin marks right here, and they're still in a row. Cool, they're pinned to the top, I get it. However, on the iPhone, pin messages are right here. And I like the way they're pinned like that. It makes it stand out more and really separates it from other people who are not as important. Not saying they're unimportant, but you know what I mean. They're pinned, so like I want to hear from them. I'd rather see messages from these people first. So that's an example that I talked about in the comments before. Pin messages on the Pixel, it's cool. They're pinned, they're first things at the top, but I prefer the pin messages in iMessage. It's just the little things, you know, the experience that I prefer on iMessage in that regard. Leave a comment below if that's something that means something to you, or if that's something that's significant or not. I'm not going to show my Gmail accounts, but one thing I noticed on the Pixel in the Gmail app for work emails, you do get a separate spot for work emails. So just covering up on my email addresses, but you do get a switch to work Gmail on there, and you don't really get that on the iPhone's Pixel app or Gmail app. So I want to throw that out there as well. I want to throw out these little details as I see them. So what do you guys think of that? Is that a big deal or not? So one thing the Pixel was able to do that I thought was interesting, that's similar to the iPhone, it was able to take pictures from like my animals and crop them out into stickers. Similar to how the iPhone does when you can just long press on a photo and it'll make a sticker out of it. So I'm pretty appreciative that it can do that. However, the iPhone does have ace up. I wouldn't call it an ace, honestly, but you can do Genmoji. So this little icon right here, you can do Genmoji. Yeah, I can type cat eating pizza while surfing. And then hopefully it generates something that's interesting. Sure, it's taking a long time. Alright, so I got my cat eating pizza while surfing. I think this one's the cutest, so we'll go with that. And now we have a cat that's surfing while eating pizza. It's gonna turn into a emoji, so you can't like press on it to make it big. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool, I guess. So these are some things I made with Pixel Studio with some prompts. We made my Pomsky and my gray cat as wedding ring bearers. I made them chill on a boat together, eat spaghetti together. A realistic version of them eating spaghetti together. All based off this photo. So I mean, I've done some little projects here and there, and I think they were interesting. Cat boxing. So Pixel Studio is actually really fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed using it versus Image Playground on the iPhone. It bothers me a little bit, and I'll get into that like right now. It's cool and all, but like I think I talked about this before, but it made this me, and that's just awful. So, and then it did this for my dog and cat, and it's not even close, but I mean, it's still relatively cute. But when it comes to people, it's not very good. And the Pixel had an update to actually do people now for Pixel Studio. I haven't tested it out yet, but we'll do me on my birthday, have it with the baseball cap on the summer day, the fireworks. So let's just see what that generates. And the teeth, man, the teeth bug me. To this day, they aren't good with the teeth. I don't understand what the problem is with the teeth. None of this looks like me. Maybe that one, if that, but... And then we can do like an illustration version of it. After many years later. Alright, maybe it can't do an illustration because it's got too much going on. So let's take away the birthday and the baseball cap and just keep it at that. I mean, that's a little, no, that's awful. The first one was better, but nonetheless, Image Playground on the iPhone is meh. Alright, so here's an example of Image Playground and like how it makes me look in illustration mode. And then here's me in like animation mode. And I don't know what it is with the teeth, but it always makes me look weird with teeth. And I almost said it's gotten better, but then it shows me something like this and it's not even close. But nonetheless, Image Playground is meh. Pixel Studio, man, that's on fire. Pixel Studio is very fun to play with, and I will miss playing with it when I return this to Amazon. And I'll talk about that here at the end of the video. Alright, so there's a lot to talk about AI, but I'll just go with the stuff that was advertised with Gemini and the whole scheduling and event thing or whatever. So find the next Bulls game and put it on my calendar.
Sure, you've got a new event set for 7 p.m. tomorrow called Chicago Bulls versus Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, so we'll just try Siri/Apple Intelligence and see if it can do that. Find the next Bulls game and then add it to my calendar. So it's dumb still and doesn't understand anything. So we'll try that again. Find the next Bulls game. That's not the Chicago Bulls. Find the next Bulls game. That's the current score. Siri, find out when the next Bulls game is. Now it's giving me directions to United Center. So this is how stupid Siri is. Siri is so dumb. I have to reset it from the beginning. When is the next Bulls game? Can you put that on my calendar? Okay, so it did that. Cool. But yeah, Siri is not that smart. But you can use Gemini to pretty much experience it the same way you do on the Pixel on the iPhone. If it would open up. Okay. This must be new. Get out of that. Continue. Okay. Find out when the next Bulls game is and add it to my calendar.
Sorry, I can't help with that, but you can always create events.
Whoa, you used to be able to do that before. What? Did they take it away? That's interesting. Let me try that again. Find out when the next Bulls game is and add it to my calendar. Okay.
I added the next Bulls game to your calendar.
So I was able to do that. I don't know why I was not able to do that on my school account for Gmail. Probably because it's not running 2.0 Flash. But yeah, that's just a little gist of it. You can do the same Gemini stuff on the iPhone like you can on the Pixel. But Siri is obviously way behind, and it's now delayed until the iPhone 17 basically, or 2026, with the whole contextually aware Siri. Pretty much what Gemini can do, Siri won't be able to do until like next year because it's delayed to like iOS 19, which sucks. But hey, Apple lied. They advertised Apple Intelligence. It never came. It's not going to be coming with the iPhone 16 phones like they advertised. They owe everybody an apology. Greggles TV is correct. If you haven't seen this video, Apple does owe everybody an apology for the false advertising that they've been doing with Apple Intelligence. But hey, I digress. Let's keep going into the comparisons between these two phones. Alright, before I talk into the grand finale of things, which is the cameras, because I care about that the most when it comes to cell phones, battery life. I did use the Pixel for about a week with the eSIM, and after messing around with it, I would say the battery life is about the same as the iPhone, depending on your usage. It is an all-day phone, but if you're on it all day long doing AI stuff, just messing around and not using it like you would typically on a normal work day or off day where you're just like not on it all day long, it will die. You might have to charge it like between car rides to work or home or to the store and back home. But other than that, all day battery for the most part, so you can't go wrong with either. And despite the Pixel having a bigger phone, the iPhone still holds its own because it's got that great optimization going. Right, so segue into cameras, social media cameras, right? Because Androids take such garbage photos. They don't. Androids don't take garbage photos. It's the cheap Androids that take garbage photos. The Pixels and Samsungs, and maybe Xiaomi's, I don't know, never used one, they take decent photos. So, and I will show you. So Snapchat looks great on the viewfinder on the Pixel. You can take a photo there. It looks good. And we'll go on the iPhone. Get out of my screen limit here. Flip the camera. Tell me why the picture on the Pixel looks way better in selfie mode than the iPhone. The iPhone looks like that cheap Android grab that everybody keeps talking about, while the Pixel actually processes the HDR and it actually looks really good. I don't know what this is, but this looks a lot better. So if you like taking selfies on Snapchat, the Pixel is the way to go. Yeah, without a doubt. But Instagram is different, and I'll show you. For some reason, it's the polar opposite on Instagram with both these phones. I don't understand why. It's very annoying. So Pixel, everything looks good in the viewfinder. Snap a photo. What the heck is this? It did not look like that before I took the photo. So we'll go on the iPhone, snap a photo. Pretty much looks how the Pixel did on Snapchat. Processes the HDR. I don't know what's going on with Snapchat on the iPhone and why it's not doing HDR processing it. But if you're taking a photo or doing anything with either phone, Instagram will look better on the iPhone, Snapchat will look worse on the iPhone, and vice versa on the Pixel. So that's the social media pretty much difference. On Chrome, on the phone over here, you can't bring the search bar down below for whatever reason. So if I just go to some random website, the search bar is at the top, and on the iPhone, this is Safari, but the address bar is at the bottom. Even on Chrome, on iOS, you can put the search bar at the bottom. So I don't know why that is, but I just wanted to throw that little fact out there as well. Alright, this video is going interstellar basically all over again, but last but not least, I want to talk about the cameras. The cameras on here are phenomenal. You can't go wrong with either or when it comes to both these. But let me just run by the specs real quick so we can just know what we're working with here. So the Pixel has a 50 megapixel wide, 48 megapixel ultra wide, 48 megapixel 5x telephoto. The iPhone has a 48 megapixel wide, 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel 5x telephoto. Front facing camera in the iPhone is the same 12 megapixel front facing camera we've always had. And the Pixel now has a 42 megapixel sensor on here that has a wide field of view. It's perfect for group selfies. Both phones can capture 4K video on both cameras, 4K 60 on the front for both, 4K up to 120 on the iPhone with log and Dolby Vision. The Pixel can shoot 4K 30 to 24 with HDR 10-bit. It can shoot 4K 60 in HDR 10-bit, but only if video boost is turned on. If the video boost is turned off, it does not shoot HDR 10-bit for 4K 60. And if you're shooting in portrait mode, the Pixel crops in at like 1.4x, won't do 1x for whatever reason. It won't do 5x telephoto portrait mode for whatever reason, but it does do night mode portrait mode, so that's cool. It does have a night mode, does have an astro mode, which is astrophotography, where it takes a 4-minute photo and then does like a 1-second time lapse of the stars moving basically, which is kind of cool. The iPhone can take, like I said before, 4K 120 and log, ProRes, and Dolby Vision. It can do 4K 60. No video boost is needed. It can just do what it does. On the Pixel, it can look just as good as the iPhone, but you have to wait hours or minutes for video boost to go from the cloud and back to your phone with the increased quality on your videos. Now the Pixel can do video boost quality videos on device without needing to go to cloud and Google servers. I would pick the Pixel. I wouldn't even be a discussion anymore because I do prefer just how the software feels on the Pixel. It feels more polished. iOS 18 has been very buggy with the touch responses and everything like that, but I will miss like the HomeKit and Google Home advantages. While with the Pixel, I'll be stuck with Google Home. We're talking the cameras right now though. So but Google does have the Add Me feature on here. I haven't really messed around with it because I really have no use case for it honestly, but it is a cool feature nonetheless. It does have that cinematic pan still that I don't think anybody really is going to use. Cinematic mode video or portrait video or blur video. The Pixel does 1080p 24 frames per second, and that's it. On the iPhone, you can do cinematic up to 4K 30 and 4K 24, which gives you a more smoother playback and experience. In video mode, I have noticed the Pixel may drop frames a little bit, even shooting at 4K 60. I don't really see any of that with video boost for some reason. So, like I said before, man, if the Pixel can get video on device right, video boost quality without doing all that unnecessary magic, it would be phenomenal. And it would be very easy to switch. Not that easy, but it'd be more convincing And it does have 8K video, but it just upscales from 4K, which is whatever. Oh, and charging speeds, real quick. Charging speeds, both phones, I believe can charge at 45 watts. The iPhone does charge pretty fast if you use a fast charging brick and fast charging cable wire. So just want to throw that out there as well. IP68 for both phones. Didn't throw that in there, but letting you know, we have Qi wireless charging on the iPhone because it's got MagSafe. Pixel does not have MagSafe, but you can get some cases out there like from Taurus, who does not sponsor this video. Just throwing that out there as it's a case that I'm using right now for the Pixel. But yeah, so let me stop talking and just play some videos and photos between these two phones, and you guys can leave a comment below what you think. The big conclusion. So between both these phones, if I could choose, it would still be the iPhone. And hear me out. Like I said before, have the whole HomeKit thing going, the Google ecosystem going. Family is most important to me. So the communication with family overseas, with FaceTime and not needing them to download separate apps. We do use WhatsApp, but iMessage is a lot more convenient. FaceTime is more convenient, and the addition of WhatsApp communication is just basically seamless. Messaging is a little more fun on the iPhone with like all the effects and all that. Genmojis, don't really use them that much, but the options are there. Just the overall experience for me specifically, and the people I talk to, family and friends and all that jazz, experience is still better on the iPhone. Video capabilities better on the iPhone. Granted, Pixel does keep up, but you have to use Video Boost, which is not convenient. I do prefer the photos of the Pixel for the most part, for sure. In videos in daytime, they kind of go head to head, but Video Boost you got to use for 4K 60 and HDR 10-bit, which is not ideal, but nonetheless, Pixel Studio is more fun. Video watching on here is more enjoyable. But at the end of the day, gotta go with this guy. And also, can't really keep this anyway if I wanted to because of the integration with, no, hold up. Sorry, I got distracted. Can't keep it anyway because of the Amazon. So I bought this from Amazon, no trade-in with the iPhone, can't do that. And yeah, I can't afford to keep this phone, honestly. But if I were able to keep it, I wouldn't because of the reasons I listed. But if the Pixel 10 Pro XL comes out with all the features that I talked about in the video that I want it to have, it might be hard, because the Pixel Watch 3 is a beautiful watch. It worked great. Battery life was decent. Charging speeds are fast. It is one of the more accurate Android wearable smartwatches with Wear OS. So that experience was cool. Didn't like how it didn't have the photo gallery at first, but the update made it available over there, and they just come out with pulse detection, where if there's no pulse, emergency service will be called. I don't know if the iPhone has that, but the Pixel Watch 3 combined with this is a great experience. So if you're on the iPhone and you don't have the reasons I have of keeping it, highly recommend this, especially over the S25 Ultra. If you're debating between those two, I would pick this because it has better image quality, and if you don't mind video boost, it has better video quality than the S25 Ultra as well. Come at me in the comments. That's how I feel. I prefer the image processing of the Pixel, always have. Prefer the color science on here. You can shoot raw images as well on here, just like the iPhone and Samsung. So Google is more than capable, and I believe and I hope that this year they will come out with a bang with the 10 Pro XL and just shut it all down. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Which phone are you rocking? Which is best? Do you agree or disagree? Let's talk in the comments below. Come at me if you want to come at me. I'll be more than happy to debate or discuss. This is Meme Tech Reviews. Thanks for watching. Peace.